If you haven't noticed recently, we have been on a kick of exploring and appreciating some older mods and their creators, and I see no point in stopping anytime soon, not when such good stuff is still out there to find. So to help us continue this journey today comes the Tiddler's Warfarin, the tricky, sticky-fingered thief. Available for both Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together, mind you. We will be highlighting the former version here today, as it's simply better than the latter in pretty much every way, even given its age. But without further ado, let's get stealthy. No, seriously, Warfarin comes with a whole new stat tied to stealthiness, and once you see their stats, I think you'll understand why. At only 100 hunger, 100 sanity, and a mere almost laughable 45 health, our sneaky friend is a frail son of a gun for sure. Not only that, they're mutes, so be prepared to react to what little reactions they will give you as you go along playing. But don't fret, a thief thrives on being unseen, unheard, and unburdened. So it's time to mitigate some of these dismal stats with perks like losing half sanity come the cover of darkness, for example. Or better yet, dashing. As we'll come to find, Warfarin is not one to fight their battles head on, and they will have plenty of methods to actually just avoid combat altogether, really. But never count out the ability to swiftly move across the map at the touch of a button. And yes, similar to Wheeler's dashing mechanic, Warfarin's can and will prevent any incoming damage if timed correctly. But with that 45 health, even an armored hit's gonna hurt like heck, so be very, very mindful there. The dash is a great utility and can help us navigate over short gaps, but miss said gaps, and you will definitely pay the price for sure, with significant hits to all three stats, as you can see. But lastly, using a dash when near walls will have Warfarin not only jumping over them, but also gaining great distances instantly when doing so too. Your agility is gonna be your ally, everyone. That and your natural instinct to hide from danger. Warfarin here will automatically become hidden when they are nearby any tree in the game, and that new stealth meter will actually tell us just how stealthy we are at that point. We can also hide in saplings or grass tufts, as long as they're not picked, of course. Berry bushes can work for us too if needed, and even the tree guardians themselves can act as mobile cover now and then. Now, not all trees and such are created equal, and light plays a big role in our stealthiness too, mind you. Less light means more stealth, means we're harder to see potentially. And no, not kidding. We can actually hide from enemies like this, and as long as they don't get too close, it's pretty darn effective too. Lessen the light, and it's gonna be even better, folks. Cool stuff, and very important to an ambushing mechanic that will come soon enough. But before we get to all that, let's talk Warfarin's three remaining main perks. Come dusk, Warfarin is able to literally pickpocket pigmen for random trinkets, resources, manure, you name it. And this is one of the main reasons for me actually showcasing this mod here today, as I found this in particular hilariously clever. But Warfarin's agility also allows for them to swiftly harvest grass, twigs, berry bushes, foods, and more instantly, as you can see. And finally, Warfarin will be dealing but 75 damage overall with everything we're used to using, due to them kinda being a bit unfamiliar with stuff not a part of their own kits. And what is in this kit of theirs, you ask? Well, lots of sharp stuff actually, but we'll begin with their assortment of daggers, of course. Craftable from the get-go is this very simple dagger here that might only deal 21 damage a hit, but it offers 175 uses total, plus it actually raises Warfarin's attack speed to boot. But remember that ambush thing I mentioned? Yeah, with a dagger now in hand, it's time to actually strike from the shadows instead of being face to face. With any one of their daggers, we'll be able to hide in trees, bushes, or whatever is nearby to lie in wait for something to literally ambush. It does have a shorter range at first, but still, Our damage not only climbs to 189 per hit, what we do hit will also now bleed for 10 health every 3 seconds for a decent period of time afterwards. And now we're getting somewhere. Get down an alchemy engine and suddenly a majestic dagger can be yours at the cost of some marble. And this thing is gonna raise our straight forward damages to 31.5 per hit, which ain't too shabby all things considered, but get an ambush off with it in hand to boast a hit of 283 damage at the end of the day. Oh, and that whole bleeding nonsense is still going to be present too. Mess with shadow magic for a night dagger here for 46.5 damage a hit at the cost of draining our sanities when we wield one, and of course, expect your ambush damage to climb once more to a whopping 418 per hit if you can get one off. It's lethal stuff. But lastly, the ceremonial dagger here will set you back plenty of Thule Sight, Purple Gems, and Nightmare Fuel, but we'll make up for it through its ability to increase the range at which we can actually ambush things, allow for said ambushes to not actually aggro what we hit, raise the ambush damage levels to 351 a strike, and will still cause bleeding. It's great stuff. Just mind the sanity cost with each use at the end of the day. But daggers are just the tip of the iceberg, everyone. Warfarin's got a whole lot of sharp toys still to come. Like throwing knives here, with a very cheap craft, and one that produces 2 knives per craft, mind you. These things are going to be an amazing weapon at range, with their amazing range, 25.5 damage each, and their chance to not break on impact for some later retrievals. Knife away. But if you're one for some stealthy theatrics now and then, adding a little explosive to the end of your knives is going to be the way to go. Enjoy 90 damage a knife now, plus an explosion on impact that will ignite everything around it too. The fire damage will not stack, however, so be efficient about it. Maybe spamming isn't the right option. Oh, but now we're talking. Now we can truly snipe from the shadows with the not very short bow. Thing is though, a bow is nothing without arrows, so you best choose which ones are best for you out of the 5 available. We have got normal arrows, rock arrows, water arrows, explosive arrows, and spiky arrows all ready to fly, and for the most part, all 5 are pretty darn good too. Normal arrows will be let loose very quickly, dealing 100 damage each hit at range. Rock arrows are for tricking mobs into aggroing walls, which gameplay-wise isn't too great, but it's still a neat reference for sure. Spiky arrows deal 100 damage as well, but will now cause bleeding over time, which can stack to some pretty insane levels, so there's that. Explosive arrows explode shortly after impact, dealing 200 damage in an area of effect, and igniting mobs. And finally, water arrows deal 1 damage each, but will not only extinguish fires instantly, but will be incredibly efficient against Dragonfly, as they'll now deal 150 damage per hit. Very nice. Oh, but one last thing about spiky arrows too. They will also raise the naughtiness penalties of killing rabbits and birds, so anticipate some more visits from Crabeye if you use them well. But as far as damage dealers go, Warfarin has but one last weapon to show us today. The Don't Starve Shipwrecked exclusive, multicolored Pestilence. This thing not only deals 36 damage itself, but will poison all other nearby mobs for 2.4 damage each swing too, rendering it a great weapon for horde-like enemies. Be mindful though, holding it also poisons you for 1 health every now and then. But to wrap up the day, a few last crafts here. Like Warfarin's Smoke Bombs. Offering a fun little craft, Smoke Bombs can be used from within our inventories to de-aggro mobs for 3 seconds, allowing for us to hopefully make a swift getaway. The Hidey Hood is next, and also has a pretty fun craft as you can see, but make one, and enjoy the ability to hide in plain sight for as long as you are not performing any actions other than walking. But do mind its ever-draining durability too. And finally, the hollowed mask here is yet another noggin coverer that will serve as a really strong armor actually, but can also take some of our sanity away to help us cast a spell that will summon a swarm of insects to actually help heal us over time. Very nice. And there you have it, everyone. Warfarin, the tricky, sticky finger thief, or don't starve. And I probably said his name wrong a million times. But again, they are available to download for Don't Starve Together, but at quick glance I honestly thought that this here version was by far the better of the two. But you do you. Thanks, the Tiddler, for all your work and time once more, as you've been showcased a lot lately, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last time either. But thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all, respect the honor among thieves, and I'll see ya in the next one. Bye-bye.